Hello and welcome to your full moon in Sagittarius reading. This is for May 29th of 2018 and today is the Sagittarius full moon. I specifically wanted to wait until we had this energy on board right here with us right now. So you're here in my office with me. It's like I feel like this is a special co-creation session where it's just you and me talking. If you're here listening to this, there's a reason for that. There's some message in what I'm going to share in this video that is specifically meant for you with this very special full moon. And Sagittarius is my very favorite sign because of the fact that it's a centaur. It's half horse, half human. This invites that wild spirit. And when I say wild, I don't necessarily mean running rampant. I mean what is the truest version of you that will not be held back, that will not follow rules, that will not fit into stereotypes that other people have set up and said are right in our society. That's what is wild to me. And I believe that your spirit within is the wild. And the centaur is also half human. So to me, this is the best of both worlds because we also bring our human sensory system, our beautiful brains that help us to navigate this world and to most of all decide and to realize, to come to the awakening that we have a choice, always. My whole path changed in my spiritual journey when I realized that one simple fact. And this is the way I have found spiritual knowledge to come, is that it's very simple and it's right in front of your eyes all the time. But when you hear it, at some point, it just penetrates so deeply that you're forever changed. And for me, those words were, everything is a choice. How you decide to respond and what you decide to get out of this message is your choice. So at the beginning of the video, you saw 3 different cards with crystals, and maybe you're drawn to just the crystal, or maybe you're drawn to more than one, or more than one card, a different crystal, a different card. It's all good. It's all good. I'm going to read them as pairs, but this is meant to speak to the symbol that is imbued with this full moon in Sagittarius. So again, we've got the wild combined with the beauty of being human. There are a lot of really good things about being human. And we have the function to be able to create, but to create from a place of integration with that wild spirit within us. And so that's what Sag is really about. It's a fire sign. It seeks for new planes of understanding. It's always wanting more. It's wanting to understand the big picture on a whole other level. As soon as there comes some understanding, Sagittarius wants to go even further and higher and more. There must be something more. It seeks adventure and freedom and will not be held down. It is definitely the wildest of all the signs, and I think that's what I just love about Sagittarius. I love that spirit. So at the time of the peak of the full moon, which actually here on the East Coast was 10:19 this morning, this was the symbol that is connected with this full moon from the Sabian set. A mother leads her small child step by step up a steep stairway. And so I feel like the messages this week have to do with the fact that we are all on this journey, and sometimes we're taking, step after step, moving up, 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 in a broader, coming to a broader understanding, instead of being really specific and fixated on a certain state of mind, or judgmental in the way we feel that we should act or other people should act. I feel like that staircase that's being referred to here is going to a really broad veranda where we can all mill about and be who we are and dress how we want and speak in the way we want or not, to be our authentic selves as we are. And the mother that is referred to in this symbol is the great mother of the skies, which is the moon. So with this full moon, a time of a culmination, a time of, it really is an aha moment in the moon cycle. It's like something has been realized, something has been uncovered, and you're ready to move into something new, a higher plane of knowledge. We only have this one moon in Sagittarius this year. And so I really do invite you to take in the messages in terms of what is taking you higher on that staircase. Is it a really steep staircase that you've been on? And if so, is it okay to take some time to rest on the stair? Is it okay for you to take maybe some steps back so that you can get your bearings again and be able to see your view of what lies ahead so that you can add more gusto to future steps when you feel ready? And to know that in actuality, the moon and really the entire universe is that great mother to you. It is supporting you, but there's a real call for you to be specific and to be directed in your thinking. And remember, everything is a choice. What we get to focus on as our future and what we're looking to create is only now. That was something that came through to me this morning on my way to work, that we only really have right now, and we're creating for our future now. We haven't created it yet. And so why not take this opportunity of this new moon, or full moon rather, to set that stage, to embrace that wild, adventuresome, freedom-seeking energy of Sagittarius and move forward on these steps. Plan how you're going to walk up the staircase. Because guess what? We're all on the staircase. And for some of us, we've been walking up diligently, step after step, and we just want more and more and more. And sometimes you need a break, or sometimes you need to take a few steps back and to understand all of those choices. I keep talking about choices. They're all correct, because the real key is in your picking of them. And so I just invite you, this feels very intimate for this reading, and I really wanted you right here with me. I've got all my candles lit. This is my little altar area in my office. It's a very simple space, but one that is my very favorite to be in, and I wanted you specifically to be right here with me. And just as in any session that I do, whether it's with a horse or human, we both get something out of it, because I am better for having combined with your energy in this reading. And so together, I feel like we're taking hands right now, side by side, and we're making a plan about, are we going to climb a few more steps? Or are we just going to hang out here for a minute and take in the view and see where we want to set our sights? How much further do we want to go until we perhaps take another rest and reevaluate? Or do we want to take some steps back? And I think that these cards are going to speak to some of that. Okay? So each card will have a crystal, as was shown in the photo. All right, and I surrounded these with my mala beads, and it just felt important for this to be really, to feel really sacred for this week, because this is kind of wild energy, and I want you to feel like it's okay to tap into that. If you look up the meaning of wild in any online dictionary, there's actually many forms, many definitions within each part of speech that wild represents. And so again, there is choice in how we choose to embrace our wild. But this Sag full moon is really uncovering something here that allows us to decide how we're going to progress. And it's a really positive one at that, because fire is our inner spirit. Fire is the divine within us that propels us forward. It is our passion for things like work and our family and our relationships and any of our desires in life. We are fueled by fire. So this is going to take us to that next level. The first card up is from the Angel Tarot deck, and this is the Six of Earth. I always love the artwork for this card because it feels like an evening out. She's putting these coin-like pieces into this grand scale, this little fairy, and it says gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan, or paying off debts. So for you, this is in terms of earthly life. When I get the element of earth, this has to do with, like, earth is the same as the pentacles in the tarot. So it has to do with things you do to earn money, and that includes your work. This also just includes what you look to as your stability in this life. And it can also, include your home structure and things of that nature. And the crystal that goes with this is also, this is actually from my water team, but this is the jade, my piece of jade. And I know this as elder is the name of it. And these are the words that I want to read to you that go with this. They align beautifully. Rich tradition, respect, integrity, learning through elders, abundance for those willing to listen. Abundance awaits. And so this is what I'm getting here is a sense of worthiness for you, that you are capable of whatever level of, particularly around monetary, your means, what you consider your means, that you are fully supported and capable in that regard. And that's what Sagittarius is calling you forward to with this full moon. It's most definitely, it ties into your work. It ties into whatever you do to earn cold, hard cash. But I really do want to focus on that particular phrase about abundance for those willing to listen. Because I wrote something down as I was listening to a training, actually, through a module at my work today. And as soon as I heard it, I wrote it down because I didn't know where it was going to plug in, and it plugs in here. And there's a couple of things here. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. That's a quote from the author Ram Dass. And also, 93% of what is communicated is the emotional meaning of a message. And that's from a researcher at UCLA. And so the point of this training was around the importance of effective listening. And so I'm wondering, for you with this elder, that there is someone, there is a force in your life. And this is kind of this great mother that our symbol for this moon speaks to. There's some elder voice that is ready to propel you along to your next level. But the thing of it is will you listen? Will you quiet your mind enough to be willing to take some guidance, to be willing to consider what may be laid in front of you? And this is directly related to your ability to earn money. I get that very clearly for you because these two are so tied. But keep in mind, when I say an elder, I'm not necessarily talking about somebody who is necessarily older than you in terms of their age. It can be an elder who has a level of wisdom that you do not yet have. So this can sometimes even be your children who are suggesting to you an area to move into. Like, geez, you're so good at that, Mom. I wish that other people, had that kind of input from their parents on that topic, or whatever it may be. Do not think of elder as necessarily older than you. But it does take a willingness on your part to become quiet so that you can hear. And also to understand, of course, there's also that inner higher self, that wild within you, that is also part of your elder energy, that is leading you forward, because the whole reason that all of us are here is to expand. We're here to keep moving like Sagittarius. It's why I love Sag so much. Into next level, next level, next level, because of the pure joy of the vista that we get to see. So pay attention. Is there an elder awaiting you? Is it your voice within that you can't hear if you're too busy talking in your mind or to other people or directing other people? And be aware that that elder message can come from just about anybody in your circle, including people that it may be quite unexpected to hear from them in that manner. Okay, that feels complete to me on that message. Okay, the second card is from the messages from your animal spirit guides. And this is the chimpanzee comes up. Interesting. This says, use both your intuition and your intellect to solve the problem or get answers to your question. I can definitely tell the energy of this full moon is this propulsion that we have been waiting for. It is literally the firepower that we need to move ahead. For you, I'm getting a feeling, I keep seeing a circular-like motion of being a little bit stuck, just kind of in a holding pattern. When we talk about the Sabian symbol for this full moon, we're walking that steep staircase, and you may be one that maybe has been hanging out on a stair for a while, because either you don't know if you've got it within you to keep climbing, you may be afraid of what's up ahead as the staircase turns and you can't see as it moves into a new level. And you may not, I just feel this sense of, you may not feel like you have what it takes to be at that new level. But this card is telling me you more than do. Have the gusto, the foresight, and the ability to be at that level, whatever that may be for you. But this is the blend of intuition and your intellect. This is Sagittarius that I just described in the intro. Intuition is the wild within. It is the centaur, the wild combined with the beauty of the human intellect. This is the peace that horses do not have. They have that wild within, but they don't have the ego structure. They don't have that whole decision-making capability. And this is the beauty that we do have as humans. And for us, the challenge is embracing that wild within, which is natural for the horses. And so this speaks directly to that. And your crystal is this beautiful piece of orange carnelian. And this is wide open arms. And I want you to think about this. I want you to envision a child that's about, probably 5 years old. Perhaps a little girl with long braids and these beautiful ribbons on the end of her braids. And she's dressed in these comfortable jean shorts and this top that has no sleeves, and it's got beautiful little flowers all over it. And she's out in a field of wildflowers, and she's just spinning and spinning and spinning, looking up at the bright blue sky. Not a cloud in sight. And she spins, and she hears the crickets and all of the birds and all the wildlife. And she feels the breeze, she feels the sun, and she spins, and she smells these wildflowers and the tall grasses all around her. That's the energy of this orange carnelian. This is the inner child stone that I have. And so these are some themes with this particular crystal. Trusting in all that comes your way. Openness and receptivity, richness gathered through experience. With that little girl, I immediately felt that imagery when I picked up this stone for the first time. And it is just this feeling of embracing the richness and the wholeness of life. It is welcoming whatever awaits at that next level. The staircase from our Sabian symbol is going up. And you, my friend, have got your eyes set up there. And the staircase curves and you can't see where it's going. But you need to trust in the experience that is being offered if you will step ahead. Because this chimpanzee combined with this orange carnelian tells me that it is something that will bring you tremendous joy. And I'm talking childlike joy. I'm talking a lightness of spirit that you have not felt for probably 20 years. It is a lightness to life. And it is this beauty of the integration of using both the intuition and the brain. And I've just heard enough messages from different sources just recently about the fact that we're not really in a place anymore about finding balance. It's not really about that. It's about integration. It's about the and. And I had said that about this 11 year, that this is about the and. It's both and. And so you can go to work and you can have fun. It doesn't have to become a work-life balance anymore. This is about the combo of the two and how you find that integration of the two. And that's what I get with the chimpanzee card, because it's very purposely saying, using both your intuition and your intellect to solve any problem and to get answers to any question. And I feel like as humans, we just simply look to our intellect. We look at the doing. We look at our efforting to make things happen. But the little girl in the field of wildflowers spinning beautifully about, not a care in the world. That represents your intuitive self. That represents that wild self. She's not efforting to do that. She's simply embracing the experience. So it comes down to this sense of kind of picking her more often than not. That part of you, that part that actually just does something for the pure joy of it. Even within spaces where you typically have not, whether that's work or within your family or with a close friend. We're really breaking out of the stable here. This is Sagittarius. Sag is very much like a horse that has been held in a paddock for way too long. And as soon as it sees an opportunity, it bolts. This is about adventure. This is about new levels of you. Okay? And so really bringing that, beginning to think about intuition. Maybe you don't connect to that word, but thinking about that more like that little girl in the wildflowers and just the pure joy of experience. And we can feel that every day in different areas of our life, even grocery shopping or cleaning the house. We can find those moments there. But there's something bigger waiting for you as you get into that place of this greater, you're climbing the stairway, you're getting to that place of this greater joy. But you have to now, at this point, with this energy, combine your beautiful brain that has gotten you to this point on the staircase, and now bring in that younger spirit to move you up further. Okay. Our final card, this is the back of it. This is from the Magdalene Oracle. And I purposely did not dig out the author's guidebook because I just really want to keep these messages, I don't know, just more very personal. It's just you and me here. Just you and me. And so if you chose this card, definitely into it. You should do this with any of the cards that you pick, into it. If there's more to it than I'm getting on for you, because this is a general reading, but I don't even want the author's viewpoint on this. I just want to take it on my own here and see what comes through. So this is Waterfall Ascension, Holy Genetics of Christ. So water energy. This is beautiful artwork. The artist does this painting on silk. And I just get a real sense when I look at this, not only with the waterfall, this is definitely about a sense of more flow, allowing more flow. And what I see up here in this area, this to me looks like an eye, and that's third eye to me with that color combo there, as well as your throat chakra, gathering greater creativity, but allowing in the water element is related to our intuition, and the fire energy that Sagittarius represents with this full moon. The moon itself is based in the water element. It rules the sign of Cancer, which is a water sign. And it is this deepest intuition within us. That's what the moon shines down, and it reveals those inner depths of our waters within, knowing that we are made mostly of water in these human bodies, and our earth is covered with mostly water. And so the moon shines down and finds all of these places within us. And those depths, that is where the depths of our existence, both within our bodies and within our planet, exist in those areas, in those watery areas. That's why that is the tie into intuition, is into that inner wild depth of you and of your experience here on this planet. And through that, through the flow with that, we gather more of our own intuitive information through that third eye chakra here. But that also, it is directly tied to the throat chakra energy system, which is where that creativity then is. It's absolutely like blossoms like a flower. And so with this is my beautiful piece of citrine. And this is known to me as Buddha. And this is part of my earth team, of my elements that I divide all my crystals into. And so I want to read to you some of the phrases that came up with Buddha here in relation to this reading. Overflowing in joy, wealth of mind, body, and spirit, abundance driven from gut laughter, deep belly laughter, and knowing you are cared for. When I first held this piece of citrine, I could see that happy Buddha. Most of us think about a really kind of a hefty figure who's just got his bellies hanging out, and he's just kind of like what we think of with Santa Claus, that ho ho ho, very jolly, the whole body is just moving because just so much joy in there. And it's because of this inner sense of abundance that Buddha brings that energy there. And just like with the depths that are being offered here, there is a sense of your intuitive growth really bringing you to a new level of this abundance and beginning to reframe what we talk about when we talk about abundance. I really, it's kind of in need of a redefinition, or just looking a little bit differently at it, like from a different angle, where it's more of a sense of this inner peace and contentment, and knowing, again, I keep going back to, that is all a choice. That is a choice. Like, people could look at Buddha and say, dude, why don't you lose some weight? That's so unhealthy. The Buddha was enormously happy just as is, because he knew that he was well within him. He knew this wealth that existed within him. And when we know that, when we feel that deep within us, that's when it actually, by law of attraction standards, it is what it is. That begins to appear in your world when you truly feel that sense of that Buddha-like energy. And the citrine is well known as the crystal of abundance. This is all about pure stability in everything that it takes to sustain you in this life. And certainly money is among that. But really beginning to broaden, because this is waterfall ascension. These are the words on this card. Holy genetics of Christ. And there is actually a DNA artwork on the side of the card here. So also with this Sagittarius energy of this full moon, and I have certainly been feeling it, and I have friends who are feeling this, there is actually DNA activation that goes on as these energy streams come in. And that most certainly is applicable to you with this card, because there is the tie directly to a genetic structure. And the citrine energy This is what's actually natural to us. This is literally of the earth. It's part of my earth team. It comes from the earth. This is the truest nature of who we are in this life. But I feel like you haven't always let yourself believe that. But the fact that this is waterfall ascension, it's kind of a dichotomy. It's sort of like the centaur of Sagittarius. Half horse, half human. We kind of don't know what to think about that. And this is waterfall ascension. So you're either going down the stairway. It may feel to you like in some ways you're going down the steep stairway of our Sabian symbol that we had. You may feel like you're kind of going downward in some ways. And I want to encourage you and to say, no, you're not. You're getting clear. You're getting clear so that you can then move into more of this true ascension type of a system. And by ascension, what that really refers to for me as a messenger here is more about this integration of you operating from this Buddha-like place within you. That is your inner spirit. That is that wild that Sagittarius is. Sag has long been connected with the higher self. And so it is that passionate, wild part of you that knows no restriction. But sometimes we need to step back a little bit because I keep being drawn to waterfall, allowing yourself to sort of fall into your intuition a little bit, maybe take a step back. These are words like review, retrieve, renew. This typically comes up during retrogrades of planets, and it's a good time with this full moon for you to maybe take a step back and to say, okay, so what takes me higher from here? Because I think I haven't let myself get there. I keep getting that feeling for you, that this idea of this very natural, this is way more natural within you, this Buddha-like feeling, this sense of true abundance. This is the truth of you, of all of us. We are the ones who get in our own way. And so this is allowing, the waterfall is about allowing that flow of the intuition. And I'm talking about when you're driving to work and you just feel like, you know what, I'm going to go a different way. And then you end up running into a friend, and then you set up a date to go out on a weekend 2 weeks from now, and things just unfold. But it takes awareness, it takes that joy of the Buddha to say, you know what, that's really okay. I could actually go a different way to work today. And to follow on that hunch, those hunches, because that's what is falling into your intuition. That is flowing with that intuition. This third eye type image at the top here, it's clearly being amplified. There's something big waiting for you here with this full moon that wants to take you higher in terms of your evolved being, in terms of not seeing so much of the shadow in life, but instead seeing the abundance, the Buddha feeling, the deep. Have you had those times of those deep belly laughs when you're literally like crying and your whole body is shaking because you're laughing so deeply? That is actually more natural to us than all the wounding and the pain and the victimhood that we put on ourselves. That is a choice. There are a lot of people living lives that are, by all standards, might seem really like they should be unhappy. They should be feeling victimized. And instead, they feel joyous because they have 5 cents in order to bring home enough rice to feed their family. And I'm really thinking about a movie, I think it was just simply called Happy. And I watched that recently, and it really just was an important reset. If you get a chance, I'll try to look it up and I'll put it in the YouTube description. Because it just was this really important reset for me. Just to see what happy really means to people. That's a choice. It's a choice, and people are making it every single day. But this is a part of your grander ascension process. And that being living from this higher self, this Buddha-like perspective that is always there and it's just waiting. The key is when you get that level of abundant thought in you, where there's so much to laugh about, there's so much to have joy about, then more joy comes. It's just the way it is. It's how it works. Okay, there we go. I hope this has been helpful to you. Please use this moon to just catapult you into a whole other level. We're walking the steep staircase. The Great Mother, the Moon, has us by the hand and is leading us with this Sagittarius energy. Lots of joy to be had. Lots of new, exciting developments to be had. But we just have to take our inner passion and trust in it enough to take one more step. Have a great full moon. Bye-bye for now.